Bitcoin just hit 100K yesterday, but now it's fallen back down to 96K, and there's a lot of speculation around where it's headed next. In this video, we're going to talk about where I think it's headed next, based on technical analysis. Looking at these levels here that I drew, you can see that there's not a lot of resistance that is clearly visible on the weekly chart. Now, the reason for this is because we're in uncharted territories and have just recently hit an all-time high. That's pretty cool, but for some reason, we're still struggling to get past this $100,000 mark. Now, there's two reasons for that I can think of. The first one is psychological resistance at $100,000. You see, this is a nice, juicy number for long-term holders and traders to take profit at. People don't want to sell their Bitcoin for less than 100,000, but anything above, they're happy to sell. And that puts a lot of downward selling pressure on Bitcoin when people bid up to those levels. On top of that, I want to show you something. Now, going back, we've never been at these price levels, and a big part of price discovery is creating new resistance levels. And one common way that this is done is through the Fibonacci retracement levels. So the breakout which occurred here, if we draw down Fibonacci retracement levels down to this low right here, look at that. You can see one of those levels is right, oh, I moved it. It's right here at 98,000. And you can see we have not had a candle close above that level. We've wicked up over it, but we have not had a candle close on the weekly chart above that level. On the daily chart, pretty much the same thing. Technically a little bit above, but a negligible amount. You can clearly see here that we're butting up against this level here from the Fibonacci retracement, as well as just the psychological $100,000 level. On top of that, let's go back to the weekly. I want to show you the momentum indicators. Now, as you can see here, it's starting to curve downward here. Now, it has not shown a red dot yet, which is a good sign, but that is subject to change. Of course, if this bull run truly has a lot of buyers behind it and a lot of demand, this could, even with a red dot, just stay up in this area and have an extended period of high momentum, just as we did back here, back in 2021, and our extended period of negative momentum during the bear market in 2022 and 2023. But if we look at what it's telling us on the daily, you can actually see that we have been overextending and are clearly in the positive momentum since, let's see here, mid-October. So there is an argument to be made that we need to cool off a bit, not necessarily go down, but trade sideways for a little while, maybe a month or two, before buyers can start coming back in and push it to all-time highs. Otherwise, what's fun about bull markets, especially with Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies in general, is once you're in price discovery phase, how high you can go is anyone's guess. Now, here, if I were to take a trade, it wouldn't be a long, unfortunately, just because of technical levels and the fact that we're right at resistance. It would be a short. If I were to take a short, I would ride it down to this level right here at around 87,000 because of the Fibonacci retracement level. Here, I would close that short. Now, if we break back above here, and during the retest, right, that's when I would take a long, and I'd have a take profit at about 110,000. Okay? Always keep a stop loss. I like to keep mine maybe around half of what my take profit is. So that way my winners, for every 2 losses, I make up for with just 1 winner, right? So that's risk management. Very important. Something I did want to add And if you watched my previous video doing technical analysis on Solana, you would know this already. But there is this descending channel on Solana, which is a bullish pattern. And something interesting about this is if you go look at Bitcoin, you can see on the daily sort of the same pattern, right? But instead of a like descending channel, it's more of a box, right? So I would draw it like this. So you can see here you have just flat horizontal support and resistance. Now this is neutral. This is not bullish or bearish. Now, whether or not this is successful, I would say on Solana, I would say is dependent on what happens here with Bitcoin. So we get lucky here and Bitcoin decides to break out of this box, right? And we start rising above this $100,000 level. Solana also would probably start testing this 260 level or further. So that's something to keep in mind. The last thing that I wanted to mention was the RSI here. So taking a look at the RSI, you can actually see, and by the way, we're on the weekly time frame again. You can actually see we're in overbought levels here. Anything above a 70 is considered overextended, and is typically a negative indicator. Now, of course, Bitcoin during bull market cycles, you know, you'll see it go as high as 94 before reversal. During this cycle, though, we saw it only go as high as about 80 before reversing. Now, luckily, we're only at 76. So what does that mean? We likely have 5 to 10 points on the RSI worth of momentum left in this bull run, realistically, right? If not more, before we start seeing a reversal. So actually, on the weekly time frame, an RSI of 76 is considered bullish. So yeah, that's another thing I wanted to share is I wouldn't be worried looking at the RSI. I wouldn't be worried looking at this momentum indicator either. I think overall I'm bullish, but in the short term, we might just see a couple months, a month or two of consolidation or sideways trading. But once we break out and retest successfully this 98,000 to 100,000 level, the sky is the limit, truly. And there isn't a lot of Fibonacci levels left as either, right? So this is actually a very bullish looking chart, more bullish than even the chart during the bull market back in 2021. So I'm very excited. I hope you guys are too. Thanks for watching the video. Please leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. And feel free to let me know in the comments any other cryptocurrencies you want me to do technical analysis for. I try and make these videos as often as I can whenever I see something interesting I want to share with you guys.